What's up, junkies? Welcome back in for another edition of Pigskin Junkies. Myself, Michael Larson, the big brother, Jared Larson, and the Scott Panza here to recap college football week 4, I believe, and then NFL week 3. Is that correct, fellas?
Very German of you to give the 3 that way.
3. Well, for the viewers, thank you. I appreciate that because they can see the numbers I'm holding up.
If they've seen Inglourious Bastards, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly. You would have went by. You would have survived.
Yeah. This is one of the few films that I have seen.
It's true.
We're in the Fassbender instead. He got cooked.
So, a couple of housekeeping things. Draft.com. Get on there. Use our promo code Pigskin Junkies. Doesn't have to be capitalized anywhere. No underscore. Just Pigskin Junkies all the way across. Get a free $3 play. Second housekeeping thing. When you go on to draft.com, you want to challenge Jared and Scott, tweet at us. They are more than willing to put their money where their mouth is. I will be standing on the sidelines watching. Just where everyone else should.
Bring it. I hear a lot of people chirping. Put your money where your mouth is.
I can think of a few people. I just feel like saying their names, but I'm just not going to do it. Best ball right now. DeCarney.
You know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. DeCarney in first place still. Jared, though, had a good week, and I believe, Scott, you said he's 0.6 points behind.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, for all intents and purposes, tied at the top.
But if Jared was in the lead by 0.6 points, for all intents and purposes, he's still in first place.
I would be in the lead. That's
yes. Just so everyone's squared away on what that means. So, fellas.
That's fair. Fair criticism.
Scott, I got to ask you. Antonio Brown. I mean, it feels like every time we put out the podcast, we go, surely nothing crazy can happen. Everything, the dust is settled, and we release the podcast, and the next day, something happens with him.
Craziness. I think he deserves all of it because the Patriots gave him a second chance, overlooked everything else that was going on in his personal life, and then the text messages leaked, and that was just the final straw for them. But it sounds like the decision came from Bob Kraft. It didn't come from Bill Belichick. So the boss man decided, and then AB must have known it was Bob Kraft because he went after him on Twitter. So
Did you see what Kraft said? I saw this on Twitter.
No, I didn't.
And I almost retweeted it. But Bob Kraft said Antonio Brown, quote, rubbed me the wrong way. And some dude was like, bad choice of words from Bob Kraft, and I actually laughed out loud.
That's
Scrolling Twitter, it's a rare occurrence for me to actually audibly laugh, but I did.
Wait. Hey, guys, big news. Case Keenum pick 6 for the Chicago Bears. Picks, taking it to the house.
Wow.
Oh.
So you got the Bears and the Vikings represented in Monday Night Football. Duh, Bears.
Jeez, what a barfest game. ESPN's got to give more money to the NFL or something.
Oh,
because these games suck.
It doesn't get much better next week either, unfortunately.
No, that's what I mean. The whole schedule sucks.
Yeah, it's
it
should have been
some
more
of those
money.
some of those ones late in the year where you're like, hey, I thought these teams are going to be good and they're not. Whatever, but it's week 3. Can we put something decent on the card?
Nothing like the winless Bengals.
Yeah,
the winless Steelers.
Yeah, come on, man.
Mason Rudolph, Red Rocket.
Oh, jeez. Yikes.
So, Jared, you and I did not have exactly the best weekend in college football, but as you and I always say, the scales always seem to balance themselves out. The gambling gods always take back what they Yep, they're very fickle.
Bunch.
Mm-hmm. And so Jared I went 1-3, and Jared, I believe you said you went 1-4.
1-4. That's correct.
So overall, not great. Now, my only win is the only thing that matters, and it proves my head-to-head record against Jared to 3-0 in the college football games that we bet against each other. even in the gun to our head segment, I won the head-to-head, which is great. And so Jared got to die a happy man at least this weekend by picking A&M in the spread for gun to your head segment. We got Wisconsin absolutely right. I think Harbaugh's days are numbered. I mean, They looked flat. I mean, they looked
Yeah,
horrible.
smoked. Never in it. Bloodbath.
And I think that's what we both thought. We thought they were going to win in convincing fashion, Wisconsin. But I think you and I thought that would be more the result of the Georgia Notre Dame game than the Wisconsin Michigan.
Yeah, I
No,
thought Georgia
watched-
came out flat.
I watched that game. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jared, but the running back for Wisconsin looks like an absolute stud.
Taylor.
What years? Yeah,
Junior, I believe. Yes, junior.
Yeah,
he's gonna
Jonathan
be-
Taylor Thomas.
good.
Yeah, he's a beast, and he's
Hashtag
running-
scout.
And he's running behind a fantastic offensive line. So he's
Does
he'll probably
Lisco
be a
just
first rounder.
produce running backs? That's just what they do?
running backs, offensive linemen, and linebackers. Oddly,
Yeah.
but that's kind of that's a lot of the demographics is the linemen, and then the running backs are like, oh, I can come run behind all these dudes. This will make me look way better. So I'm gonna. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is from Philly. Actually, he's from like Wilmington, Delaware, but
Oh, wow.
Jersey across the river from Wilmington.
Oh.
Yeah, like way South Jersey,
How does he not go to Penn State? That's one of those that you gotta. I feel like that's Penn State's stomping ground.
Wisconsin paid him more. Come on.
That was probably still. I was gonna say those are probably still the Bill O'Brien days.
Yeah.
I don't need none of that. Yeah, I got smoked. I mean, 1-4 Tennessee barf. They're terrible.
They're horrible.
Ole Miss laid an egg. Northwestern looked putrid, especially on offense. Kentucky looked flat, and then App State won outright. Keep your points, Vegas. But yeah, I was surprised. Georgia came out pretty flat in the first half, and then you could see the wheels start to turn. But Notre Dame hung tight. I as someone who enjoys disliking Notre Dame, I thought that they played a pretty good game. And then end of the third quarter, start of the fourth quarter, the talent gap starts to show itself. You got a little bit of heat and humidity that starts to show itself from rural Indiana. And Georgia kind of imposed their will there that last, let's call it 12 minutes of the game. But Notre Dame hung around. I expect, I'm sitting on an under 9.5 ticket. I don't feel very good about that anymore based on the way that they played on Saturday night.
Yeah, I was impressed with Notre Dame. So Jerry went to 11-9 on the year. I'm at 11-7. So at least we're on the positive side of the equation. But I had Northwestern, like Jared said. They just that Hunter Johnson kid, everyone thought was going to put.
Sucks.
Yeah, they thought that he was going to make
Not good.
Northwestern a contender, and they just are not. UCF, that was a roller coaster of getting their teeth kicked in, and then they were covering, and then they lose outright. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I know we have a lot of UCF listeners, but I'm happy to see that, quote, run come to an end.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't want to hear about it anymore. Like, you're good. You're a really good team. Just accept that that's what you are. You're not national champs. You're not even conference champs in some instances, but really good. They're really good. They deserve to play on the big stage with the big boys, and this is what happens when you play real teams every week. You lose every once in a while. It's okay.
losing's not okay. I don't know what family you were raised in, but in my family, we didn't accept losers.
We don't accept losers here, boy.
And then, after I had Florida, obviously, so that was Jared and I's head-to-head. Kyle Trask, I thought, looked pretty good. And
Yeah, he did.
then Utah just came out, and Moss got hurt, and then Huntley was out there trying to make it happen, and what's his butt from USC, the third-string quarterback, went full.
Fink.
Yeah, who cares? But like this guy comes in and goes, Cordell Jones is like, hey, I'm gonna make
Stop
USC.
dimes.
Yeah, but when you go one-on-one on the outside, and you have the talent that USC is always gonna have receivers. They're always gonna have running backs. They're always gonna have speed. So they're gonna be able to win one-on-one matchups. And if you throw enough jump balls, you're gonna win.
Steve Adazio says they got dudes.
Yeah, it's Jimmy's
They
and
got-
Joe's, not X's and O's.
That's right. Why do you think Clemson's so good?
Yep, I know you love that one. So that was our college recap. Not exactly our best weekend, but you know what that means, though.
Look out below. Get the brake truck out this week.
Jared and I we're climbing up to the third rope, and we're tapping on the elbow, about ready to bring down the hammer. And speaking of jumping off of ropes and smashing things in, we're circling the wagon now, boys. The best team.
What a transition.
In the state of New York.
Well done.
The Buffalo Bills. How about those Bills?
3-0. 3-0. And still got 2 in the pocket against the Dolphins. The Redskins, just find me another win in that schedule. And I'll tell you, this weekend is win-win for me. As a Pats fan and a guy that has money on the Bills season over, I'm juiced about this. Win-win. Because if the Pats lose early, they lose in September. That's fine. It doesn't mean anything. And it gets me one step closer to the over with the Bills. Full disclosure, I've already hopped on the Bills at plus 7.5. It implies Bills plus 13.5 in New England. Last year, they were getting 13 in New England with half the weapons that they have now, no offensive line, better defense now. I'm already on the Bills plus 7.5, and it pains me to bet against Tom Brady, but they got some injuries. They got some concerns there, turning over the team a little bit. They haven't played
anybody.
Whoa. This is the NFL. This is the National Football League.
No. I'm saying that the Pats haven't played anybody. They're 3-0, but they played the Jets, the Dolphins, and the putrid Steelers at home.
So we ended the Steelers season in week 1. We demoralized them. They're donezo.
That's true.
And then, so, you can only play the teams that are in front of you, and we beat division teams. Miami, a team that we struggle with. What do you want me to say? We beat Luke Falk, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Ben Roethlisberger. Now we have a real test. This Bills team is a real team. Instead of going into the year, still believe it. This is going to be a real game. But the Pats defense hasn't given up a touchdown this year. Amazing.
Just hearing that the quarterbacks and then listing the teams that the Patriots play in the division is.
They've been playing paraplegics back there. No wonder they haven't given up a touchdown. They're not. Josh Allen's not like a world beater.
Jared, we both liked the Steelers week 1. We thought it was too many points, and now this is revisionist history.
Couldn't have been more wrong. This is before the game. Now I have some data, and I know that they suck. They can't stop anybody. Look what they did. Again this week.
I'll tell you, I feel bad for Steelers fans because they did turn them over quite a bit this weekend. They just squandered every opportunity. We talked about it last week on the recap pod. I wasn't impressed with Mason Rudolph. Even less impressed after this past weekend. I know people will point to that big bomb that he hit Juju Smith-Schuster on, but that was just a blown coverage. So that's not good stuff. That Minkah Fitzpatrick pick that they traded away is going to be a top 10 pick. I'm sure they're going to wish that they had that back, although Fitzpatrick looked pretty good this weekend.
Yeah, so the Dolphins can draft 5 quarterbacks in the first round.
Yeah.
Just keep drafting quarterbacks.
Hey, just got to rebuild through the draft. But this weekend just could have gone better. Nailed the slate as a whole through the 6 entry between Circa and Super Contest. Only 1 loss. Unfortunately, I was risk on the Seahawks. Had them in 5 of my 6 entries. So sweating out the Bears right now at -4 for a perfect 5-0 in the lone Sans Seahawks entry, and then just Giants we liked, Panthers, Rams, even though Super Public had to hop on that, Ravens, took Texans in Circa, and Vikings was just, bet against John Gruden on the road. So very fortunate weekend, but, frankly, the public, everyone really nailed this weekend in Super Contest. I was going through the numbers today, and like 28% of people have 4 or more wins this weekend. Wow. And that's a pretty high. That's really high. There was a lot of, consensus really held this weekend. And we were a bit in consensus with the Rams, the Vikings, Texans and Circa. So, and the Lions. The Lions made us sweat, but they pulled it out.
How many people do you think are scrambling through their Twitter from tweets way back at the draft when the Giants took Daniel Jones and trying to delete all of their stuff after this? Now, it was the Bucs, but everyone's got to be like, crap. Got to delete this 'cause somebody's going to catch me here.
No, old
Micah is a Daniel Jones truther.
Since college.
America loves Daniel Jones.
Nailed it. I mean, nailed it week one. He looked great. He looked fantastic. Was rolling out of the pocket.
Garbage.
You know, I'll tell you that he made some legit throws, and his offensive line wasn't giving him a ton of time. There's a lot of pockets that was being collapsed on him, but we are thrilled with that outcome.
Slayton out there catching some balls, Jared.
Come again?
Darius Slayton from Auburn out there catching some footballs from Daniel Jones for the Giants.
Dropping dimes. We got some receivers.
Duke Williams out there trying to circle the wagon.
Yeah, Duke Williams. Duke Williams, stay off the weed.
Quick thing, too, and Jared, I'm going to let you get into your picks, but the fact that Brown called out Shannon Sharp, I'd pay $1 million to watch them two in an octagon. Shannon Sharp could hurt any human being on this planet. He still scares me. Just give him a bottle of Henny and just let him do his thing.
Antonio Brown needs to remove his head from his ass. Just really what it boils down to. Like,
can we just talk about guys that are in the NFL?
Yeah, no more Antonio Brown talk until he's back actually in the league. My picks this week were 3-2. As Scott mentioned, he got to eat the crow on the podcast that dropped on Friday because I took the Jags and my boy Gardner Minshew, and he was Merc City in Duval on Thursday night. I really like that spot. I agree with Scott, and I believe all the no, for the contest purposes, no Thursday night games. I'm in. But you are going to see me playing and betting these teams on Thursday nights at home, especially in division, off of a short week. There's a lot of familiarity with the opponent. They have a tight travel schedule. You'll see me hopefully betting a lot of those home out of favor teams that are getting a couple points. Actually should be a good one this week, but I think the Packers, I don't know what it is. What's the number, 8 or 9 probably?
No, it's Packers minus 4.5.
All right, so I'll be betting Packers because, one, the Eagles are really banged up, and then everything that I just mentioned, trying to get healthy on a 2-day week, not to mention traveling to a hostile environment in Green Bay, I think will be difficult. But so had the Jags, had the Chiefs, was wrong there. I mean, I love watching this team. I will continue to watch the games when they are on. They can score at a lightning pace. Whatever. If you're going to lay 7 points, you're going to get backdoored every once in a while. You got backdoored in the Ravens game. Fine. Colts. I liked the Colts a lot. I thought the line was extremely disrespectful in terms of the outcome of the game. Never really in contention or never really in contest. Giants, as Scott mentioned. And man, oh man, did we whiff on the Seahawks. I cannot get a pulse on this team. I just can't. I'm yinning and yagging, zigging and zagging, whatever you want to call it. I can't seem to feel. Yeah, I can't get a feel for the coaching staff. They got their heads plugged in their tuchuses.
I'll tell you,
I don't know why. The play calling sucks. The timeout sucked. The clock management sucks. Why? You're so good. Just let Danger Russ get back there, run around, and drop it out of the sky for what are you doing?
It was wild. If you saw his stat line, he was 13 of 14 for 155 yards, and they were down 14-0. I mean, just really frustrating. I mean, you give up the special teams touchdown. That's aggravating. And then the fumble that turned into a touchdown, also super aggravating. I'm still not impressed with Teddy Bridgewater. He had 17 completions. 9 of them were to Alvin Kamara, who just made some moves out of the backfield. So, the Saints, I'm going to continue to look to bet against them. Maybe I'll eCrow on them, and the Saints will be this year's version of the Cowboys for me from last year that I just couldn't get right and was losing every time I bet on them or against them. But I'm not impressed with this team, and they got a tough Cowboys team coming to town next week on Sunday Night Football, so that's going to be a juicy one in my opinion.
Yeah, listen to this. 26-15 first downs, 515 to 265 total yards. I mean, New Orleans, 3 special teams defensive touchdowns. Yeah. That's obviously the difference in the game.
Yep. You just got to be better coach, Seattle. You just got to be better coach. That stuff just shouldn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. Coaching.
It is coaching. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Is it time to hit the panic button in Philadelphia?
Yes, it is. And this is coming from someone who was saying Carson Wentz MVP at the beginning of the year and someone who was saying this is the best team in football. But the injuries are piling up. Archaea Whiteside not looking good as an early pick that they were expecting a lot of. Miles Sanders, need to get him going better. But the injuries are just a real problem. And it's frustrating watching them right now.
Yeah, yes is the answer. Because of the injuries. That's it. I mean, the roster's great on the front lines, but once you start getting into the 2 and even the 3 deep, the division stinks. But there's the Cowboys. They still got a couple against them. And, I think they'll handle their business as it pertains to the Redskins. But you still have the Giants, which is a rivalry game. So you have a couple of those. That's on a pretty regular basis. That series is split regardless of team record.
So I'll flip the coin here. Is the Roar officially back in Detroit?
It's getting there. It is getting there. And
man,
they make some very questionable coaching decisions. Again, they had a chance to put the Eagles away. What did they do? On 3rd and long, a go route up the sideline for the game. Pathetic. And then they kicked the long field goal, which gets blocked. Luckily, the defense bailed them out, but they can't keep putting their defense in position like that because in this NFL, it's just too easy for teams to score at times. So they got to clean it up. They should be 3-0 right now, and they could be sitting atop that division with the Packers and setting themselves up for the playoffs. But, I'm concerned about this team. I thought we were going to get juicy lines on them to start the year. We have been getting juicy lines on them, and I think this upcoming weekend, no different against the Chiefs. They're getting probably early line 6.5. They'll probably move up because everyone loves betting the Chiefs. Could be a good number to take the lines.
No, complete organizational ineptitude from the Lions. Now that our friend, especially even though our friend now plays for them.
That's true.
Friend of the podcast, Jack Driscoll.
I heard someone, I can't remember where I heard it, but they said the Roar is restored, and I thought that was the greatest.
Come on.
Well, I just think that's a phenomenal.
They haven't been good in 30 years.
But from a marketing standpoint, though, that's awesome. The Roar is restored. That's just perfect.
But it's not true, so it doesn't.
Oh, they just went on
maybe
the road
they'll sell some
6-point
T-shirts.
dogs and won.
Keep your money, Vegas, Jared.
Yeah.
Keep your points, Vegas. Give me the money. Keep your points.
I'll tell you, another thing I want. Last weekend, I forgot. Kyle Allen, what was he like in college? Because he looked like a stud this past weekend.
I don't even know where Kyle Allen went to school.
I have no idea either. That's not typical.
Did he go to Texas A&M? Did he go to Texas A&M?
He went to Texas A&M.
Man, look at that! Just bam.
You guys are the college guys. You guys got to know
like
this
an
stuff.
encyclopedia.
Yeah, but if I asked you where Adam Thielen went to school out of the blue, I mean, obviously you know it now.
Minnesota State.
Yeah.
I would know.
Well, yes, but I'm saying there are these guys in the NFL. Where Jerry Rice go to school, like Mississippi Delta?
Yeah, Mississippi Valley State.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, there are these
Texas
guys
A&M.
that come out.
Saying.
What years?
He's 23, so recently.
Yeah.
Like before Kellen Mond. Because remember Kyler Murray transferred to Oklahoma?
Mm-hmm.
Because Kyle Allen was playing? Dropping dimes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, he looks good. He looks legit. I was very impressed with him. He made a lot of big throws. He got a lot of the, Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore involved, Greg Olson.
Third leg Greg.
But just, frankly, the Cardinals' ineptitude on their run defense really opened it up. Christian McCaffrey, he waved bye-bye on his long 80-plus yard run. It was just great.
Here's a college trivia.
I did not see one snap of that game.
I did not either. Here's a college football trivia for you, Scott. What's Greg Olson's rapper name?
I already said it. I already gave it away.
I know, but I don't think Scott heard you.
No, I didn't hear you.
Third leg Greg.
Nice.
Elite from his Miami days. So I do remember now because he was at Oklahoma, And Baker transferred in, got the job from him, then he transferred to Texas A&M, correct? No,
I don't know.
I'm thinking of Knight. I'm getting those two mixed up. Anyway.
Yeah, Trevor Knight. In the NFL, it's a coaching carousel. In college, it's the quarterback carousel. Into the transfer portal, out of the transfer portal, round and around they go.
Well, it's working for Oklahoma.
Yeah, it is.
So
I thought we hit the card pretty much on the screws this week. There was, 3 or 4 games that were like just dead stay away for us. But outside of that,
Yeah.
Bills would have been a loser probably. Cowboys stay away. I think we leaned Packers. That was a winner. Colts winner. Chiefs and Ravens, you and I were head up. Everyone was on Vikings winner. Pats stay away. Lions, everyone.
No,
Giants.
definitely
Chargers, yuck. Poor Phillip Rivers.
In Circa, they gave that spread at 3.5. So last second, I just had to take it. It just seems so juicy having the hook, and then they win it outright. I was really short Chargers going into the season. The injury bug hit them, and then on offense, they really have no one but Keenan Allen, and he can score all day, but no one else is there to support him. And it's him and Eckler. Mike Williams, everyone's waiting for him to pop, and he's not popping. And Travis Benjamin's banged up. So they have 2 receivers, Hunter Henry down, Derwin James out. So this team is, they're going to continue to struggle, I think.
I agree. Thanks for the reviews, everybody.
Yes, that's what I was going to
Appreciate
get
it.
to. I know Scott texted us. Do you have that one pulled up, Scott? If you want to share it,
Yeah.
I'll give you the honors.
Couldn't be more on brand for what we're going for here. Honest guys, not salesmen. From L. I'm not going to pronounce the last name right, but appreciate the honesty of these guys. Feel like listening to your buddies chatting through the weekend slate without selling you on their prowess, skill, or records. Having said that, need to start tailing more blindly. Hope you do, and hopefully we continue to, spike winners like we did this past weekend. I'm really fired up for this upcoming weekend slate. We got some really good games. I think some juicy lines. We'll definitely run them through. It's still early in the process, but look ahead. Game of the weekend goes without saying. Pats Bills.
It's going to be fantastic.
They should really flex that to 4:15 so people in Orchard Park get really nuts, and then it'd be really awesome that I could. I would love to be up there. Honestly, I drive up to Buffalo from Connecticut. It's a 6-hour drive and get to this game, but unfortunately, I have to go to a wedding in Baltimore. And then people were floating going to Ravens Browns on Sunday, but I think trying to drive home after 2 days at a wedding and then Ravens Browns would be the worst idea possible. So I'd be definitely in the torture chamber, pacing around the house, and driving my wife nuts.
Scott is going to get up at 3:30 from this wedding and torture chamber, and drive 90 back to the torture chamber. Soak in the games. He'll be there.
That's actually exactly what I'm going to do, and I'd love to hear some people from Twitter recommend me something to listen to on.
Give me some podcasts. I got one for you. I got a good one for you.
Which one?
It's called the Pigskin Junkies.
Oh, okay.
You got to listen to yourself, Scott. It's the only way you improve.
I know.
As much as we all hate
only
it.
45 minutes. It's a 4 plus 5.
And you already know what was said.
Yeah, I already know it was said. It's 40 minutes, and I got like 6 hours. So there's a couple. I'll send you a couple. We'll get you a couple.
Perfect.
There you go.
I got plenty. Some of them are like really long. The Simmons stuff has actually been pretty good recently.
Oh, really?
I think some of his stuff can be shticky sometimes, but like the last few ones, and obviously my man Rosillo is just killing it. We should get him on. We should get him on the podcast sometime.
Oh yeah, let's talk
Since
about.
we're big time.
We're big time.
Curls and trap
Curls
out.
Curls for the girls.
Yeah.
It's true. So, fellas, that's going to do it for this recap edition. For those of you, thank you again for being patient for the extra day, for us all to get together and do this podcast, because I, as the producer, need to be in my home in order for this podcast to happen. So
That's correct.
these other two, they can travel around and live their lives. But me,
The talent travels around.
all Do
Ooh,
I need to
harsh,
read the
Jared.
college records again? What's the head-to-head? Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, man. I'm going to text
I'm just
it.
going to start going head to head in spite, out of spite.
Well, I don't tell you my card until we do the show, so.
I know. I'll just start penciling them in, adding them.
Yeah, I bet that one too, but the other side.
Yeah, I got the. Who do they play? Them.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to do it for this week's edition. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm Michael Larson. That's Jerry Larson. That's Scott Panza. We're out of here, junkies.
Circle the wagons.
See ya.